Honorable guests, distinguished colleagues, and fellow panelists, women are at the backbone of agri-food systems. In sub-Saharan Africa, 76% of working women are employed in agri-food systems, yet 90% of them work in the informal sector. And while more women are moving into off-farm roles, gender gaps in assets, earnings, decision-making, and leadership persist, and women's contributions continue to be undervalued. The burden of food insecurity is also higher for women and girls. In 2024, 11.2 million more women than men in sub-Saharan Africa faced moderate or severe food insecurity. And nearly 40% of women in sub-Saharan Africa suffer from anemia. This underscores the urgent need to support women in agri-food systems. Food insecurity and agri-food systems livelihoods are often also present from those who migrate, which includes 304 million international migrants in 2024, of which approximately half are women, and many of whom came originally from rural areas. Both young women and young men from agri-food systems characterized by protracted crises are more likely to aspire to migrate. And as the population of international migrants grows, it's important to realize that diaspora communities are critical players in agri-food systems. Through remittances, investments, skills transfer, and trade facilitation, they can help to drive rural development. In 2022, remittances to developing countries reached $647 billion, with about half sent back to rural areas. Yet much of this potential remains untapped due to remoteness, poor infrastructure, limited information, and weak links with rural stakeholders. Harnessing diaspora resources can significantly strengthen women-led businesses. For women in the African diaspora, agri-food entrepreneurship skills and remittances, as well as cross-border networks into productive and market-ready businesses, have great potential. Policies aligned with the African Continental Free Trade Agreement and the Protocol on Women and Youth in Trade can create an enabling environment for these enterprises. And targeted support, including mentorship, access to finance, and digital literacy, can improve self-employment, enterprise practices, as well as household welfare. The benefits ripple across communities, strengthening rural economies and agri-food systems. FAO continues to champion women's agri-food entrepreneurship as a vehicle for resilient livelihoods and inclusive trade. For example, the Women's Accelerator Mentorship Program supports women-led small and medium-sized enterprises with mentoring, capacity building, and workshops on business planning and accessing finance. Participants also gain peer learning and expert networks, strengthening the investment readiness of their businesses. Also, through the Empowering Women in Agricultural Trade program, which has been implemented with ITC's She Trades, FAO has trained women agripreneurs in Ghana, Nigeria, Malawi, Senegal, and Tanzania on trade, business readiness, and benefits from the Continental Free Trade Agreement. Participants reported significant increases in knowledge on company registration, on food safety, and on new business opportunities. Finally, FAO's 2024 Commit to Grow Equality initiative encourages stakeholders across the system to pledge concrete actions for gender equality in agri-food systems, including expanding women's access to markets, trade, opportunities, and finance. Looking ahead, there are 4 key areas that we should focus on. First, macroeconomic policymaking. We need to make women's entrepreneurship a clear priority in national agri-food systems policies and trade plans, with specific targets, budgets, and accountability measures. Second, we need to create an enabling environment at the micro level. This means expanding gender-responsive finance, providing mentorship and capacity building, and pairing these tools with market access and improvements in infrastructure. Third, advocacy and voice at both of the above levels is needed. Women's cooperatives, small and medium-sized enterprises, and diaspora groups should have a seat at the table in both trade policy and other policy bodies so their perspectives are heard and acted upon. And finally, we need to engage with diaspora. We can channel remittances, expertise, and market connections into women-led agri-food businesses and work together with the diaspora partners to design trade pilots that reduce cross-border barriers. Just to close, FAO stands ready to work with governments, the private sector, and diaspora partners to ensure that women-led enterprises can thrive in agri-food value chains. As we approach the International Year of the Woman Farmer in 2026, let's build on initiatives like the Commit to Grow Equality initiative so that women entrepreneurs have a seat at the table and a strong presence in the market. Thank you very much for your attention, and I look forward to working with you further.